It's time for our Southern Mallee Giants report. Coleman Schache is with us. Hi, Coleman. How are you?
Yeah, going well. Thanks, Flo, man.
Good. I did actually read this week that the Hopetoun Oval is getting some funding from the government for an upgrade. That's a bit of good news.
You might be giving news to me, Flo, man. I knew there were some stuff in the pipelines along the way, but yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah, well, there's a government program that has got community facilities like bowling clubs and ovals and change rooms and lighting towers, and the Hopetoun Club has been one of the successful recipients. So there you go. That was in one of our local news bulletins that I heard this week. So great stuff for everyone at Hopetoun and Coleman. You have to let everyone know, but you let everyone know last week you're back in the winner's vein. It was a great performance to beat Ararat, who came out firing, and you must be pretty pleased with that at senior football level, Coleman, after what was a couple of shaky weeks.
Yeah, you're right, actually, spot on about that. So it was a must-win for us, really, at the end of the day, to make sure we stamp our authority on a finals, stay in finals contention. So we really made a statement of it all through the week. We wanted to come out and had a bit of a point to prove in where we stand in the competition, and it was good to turn it around a little bit. We've still got a bit of a way to go. We still had a few lapses along the way, but hopefully it's a bit of a sign of a bit more consistent footy from the senior team. Yeah,
Dinham back into the forward line after the travel restrictions. That was pretty handy. I mean, he made a massive difference, somebody to kick to. With Cookie, of course, out of the side, he shouldered the load. And I thought a good effort. Ben McGee has had a couple of really good weeks, and given the family circumstances, I think that's great to see from the young man, really finding his feet at senior level.
It is fantastic. He's had two ripper weeks, Benny. Back into the team in 2 weeks ago, and he's shown a few signs. He was putting a bit of pressure on, and then this week he really fell his way, and he took the opposition on, and he was able to kick a couple of goals. So if he can keep doing that, he's a huge asset for us. So he's coming along nicely at the moment, Benny.
Yeah, crumbing forward, so he's not easy to find, and with Josh Webster out of the side, you've really got to find those. Landrigan, a couple of goals too, a real asset to the side, and Webster kicked 3, Benny Webster. White, very, very good. Parrish, White, Lou White in the middle, very good. Ben McGee, Robbins, perhaps one of his better games for the year in the back line, and Marnie, the co-coach, amongst it. Now, the reserve grade, it wasn't as pleasant to pickings here. Gee whiz, the boys got a bit of a touch-up here, Coleman.
They did. So we got to, watch, the first quarter and second, a bit of the second quarter, and they were putting up a good fight. Ararat come up with a pretty strong team. They had a pretty consistent team across the board, and to the boys' credit, we were a bit undermanned again, but they hung in there for the first half, but in that second half, the Ararat just proved a bit too strong for our boys. But we had a couple of young fellas stand up again, and Jacob Holm across the back line. It was his 21st birthday, so he played a ripper on his birthday. So there's still some good signs coming out of it, and I think after the bye, might get a few numbers back to bolster those boys up a bit, and hopefully they can find their form that they had early on in the year.
Yeah, some hard to get goals. Big Taylor Donnan just stood there waiting for an opportunity, got one opportunity. Holland with the other. Holland was the best player for you blokes. McCormack's good too. Young Tristan Blair and Deck Brown, those two young lads. Deck Brown's gone back into the full back line, and so a really good defender there. Marshman was okay also. Good to see, as you mentioned, the kids coming along well there. Tristan Blair, great to see his name in the best 3.
Yeah, it was. No, they still haven't missed a session, those young fellas, and they're improving every week. So, like we said before, with got the bye this weekend, so refresh all those young legs up, and hopefully full steam ahead come our 8 games in a row after the bye.
Now, last week, I know with the 14s, you mentioned that the other side, I think it was the D's, gave you some players and made for a much more interesting contest. I'm sort of assuming that Ararat did something similar with the under 14s.
They did. Yeah, they. I think it was after. Pretty much early on in the game, first quarter time, they gave us a few players. They're a very strong team, Ararat, and I know Lewin, the coach, was he couldn't thank them enough to do what they did and provide a really good contest. We had 2 or 3 of their top players, which just that's all our boys needed, just to stand a bit taller and crack in a bit harder and win a bit more ball so they could run hard on the outside. So thanks to the Ararat coach and their team for allowing that to happen. But the boys are back. Jacko Moore's been on the track coming back from a broken arm this week, so he'll be looking to slot back in after the bye. I'd say he's injected some energy on the training track, so still some exciting things to look forward to in the second half of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see Kay Bellinger and C. Frankel hit the scoreboard. Credlin, K. Smith, C. Frankel, D. Hakopa, J. Crisp, and A. Decker were really good kids. Okay, you get some time off. Do you go and see the must-go-to game? I reckon Saints and Dimmy, would you be heading that way this weekend, Coleman?
I'm not personally Flo man. I'm just going to take a relax, refresh the mind a bit, take a bit of time away from the footy for the weekend. But that'll definitely be a really good game. Those two sort of, I think they could be on even points as well, actually. So they'll sort of fight for that top 3 position as well with us. So it'll be very interesting to see who comes out on top there. Saints, they've won the last 2 games against us. I can't remember who they played last week, but I know they got the win. So they're in red hot form at the moment.
Oh, they certainly are, and it's going to be, if you're looking for Coleman Schache, he's not at the footy, he's on the Hopeton Lake doing some skiing and enjoying the day.
I don't know if I've got that brave enough yet. A couple of months away before it warms up enough to get on the lake.
She might be iced over, you reckon? Coleman Schache, great to talk to you about Southern Mallee Giants football. Enjoy the weekend off, and also for the Hopeton folk there too, enjoy those new facilities, and we'll have a chat a bit more about that next week.
I appreciate it, Flo, man. Good stuff.